This AgVision program is made possible through the generous support of Syngenta Seeds NK brand. The results you need, the freedom to choose. And by Farms.com. Ag news, market prices, ag careers, and farm real estate. You'll find it all at Farms.com.
Now today in our third in a series focusing on the impact of stress and accidents on the farm. The story of Richard Fraser highlights the emotional and financial costs of such events.
David, John, and Richard Fraser are brothers who share joint ownership of a 1,900-acre dairy and cash crop operation just outside of Ottawa. On Boxing Day, 1997, Richard and his son Robert set out to one of their woodlots to get some fuel for the family's wood stove. Despite taking all of the necessary safety precautions, one of the trees came down on Richard's back, paralyzing him from the waist down. The emotional, physical, and financial costs of the accident were devastating to Richard and his family.
It just changes life. It used to be I could jump out of bed in the morning and 10 minutes time be on the job and go do some work and then come back for breakfast, the normal farm routine. Today it's at least an hour's project just getting dressed and out of bed in the morning. I now look after all the bookwork and the paying of accounts and have it all on computer. And as far as any actual physical farm work, I do get in the tractor and run the grain buggy alongside the combine in the fall when we're combining corn. So it's one job I can do in the tractor, and it every year kind of gets me back to some of what I used to do at least. My wife Jean has certainly had to take on a much bigger workload. You know, there are certain things I can do, but there are a lot of things I need a little help with. And like even getting out of bed in the morning I can't do without her help. I think it certainly had quite an effect for a long period of time on my son Robert, who was with me at the time. Our daughter Laura, who was 15 I guess at the time, it certainly had an impact on her. There was 5 months that I was either like in hospital or rehab, which meant Jean spent a fair bit of time there with me, and Laura was kind of home here alone. I ended up buying a new van. There was 3 modifications. First of all was a lift that comes out on the side so that I can wheel in. The roof had to be raised, and the driver's seat, what they call a 6-way power seat, that allows the seat to turn 90 degrees and raise up and down so that I can go in my wheelchair behind the seat, transfer then from the wheelchair into the seat, and then turn the seat to get in driving position. And then also put on a hand control to operate the brake and gas pedal, which is a fairly simple device. Over and above the cost of the van itself was probably another $17,000, so it's not cheap. The biggest item as far as changing of the house, our bedrooms were all upstairs, which created a problem. So what we ended up doing is making what used to be the garage into a bedroom with a washroom with wheelchair accessibility, and then redesigned the new garage such that I could easily travel in the wheelchair from the garage into the house, which ended up being probably a $70,000 or more renovation, so it all comes with a price.